Oh, hello world. My name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network. I just want to make sure that our microphones are on. Cool. Okay, so you're watching the Hub Online Network. This is episode 12, and today we're talking about Black Lives Matter, COVID-19, and Ashcroft has joined Facebook. I just want to say hello to everyone that's watching, and if you are watching live, thank you so much. And if you're not watching live, what are you doing? We're live every Monday and Friday, just around 3 o'clock. Sorry, we're a little bit late today. We do have still have some new people that we're training on using our lovely Switcher app. So we have Matthias sitting with us over running the board today. We're also joined by our production manager, Jessica Clement. Jessica and I are going to have a little bit of conversation about some things going on around Ashcroft, but let me start off by talking about the recent COVID-19 numbers, which have been up and down over the last couple of days since we saw you all on Monday. So what those numbers are is yesterday we had 5 new cases and 0 deaths, which is great, but on Wednesday we had 22 new cases, so that's a bit of a spike. For the recent times, and 1 new death. And on Tuesday, we had 4 new cases and 0 deaths. So we're getting sort of usually fewer cases now, and it sounds like the government is more happy with opening up in phase 2 manners now that we have these fewer cases. So that's always a positive thing. But remember, especially with all of the Black Lives Matter marches, please stay safe out there. Physical distancing is still a thing. COVID is still a thing. So if you're going to go out and march, which is a positive thing to do, make sure that you stay safe. Now, that being said, easing COVID-19 pandemic travel restrictions for BC regions with few infections is not on the table this summer, according to Premier John Horgan. He says that the BC Liberal leader, Andrew Wilkinson, wrote to Horgan on June 2nd, urging him and Provincial Health Officer Dr. Bonnie Henry to consider if the province can accelerate reopening parts of the province with low cases. They have both said that that is a no-go. It's sort of all happening at the same time, so it's not like Ashcroft can reopen faster than Vancouver can. Even though Ashcroft, I don't believe, has had a case of COVID-19 since the pandemic started. But he's asking them to consider, he's asking for them to help struggling tourism and other businesses. But the earliest BC can see additional travel is later in June, only if the spread of infection doesn't show signs of picking up from the reopening of pubs, restaurants, libraries, and personal service businesses that are permitted in phase 2, he said. The village of, so that's everything that's really going on with COVID-19. As we go on and on and on in this pandemic, the less and less and less news sort of comes out about this because they're expecting it to kind of fade away throughout the summer and then have a resurgence in the fall as the second wave. So be prepared for that. I know at the Hub here, there are some things that we're filming extra so we can have in the bank. So if we do have to go on lockdown again, things like the exercise classes and stuff can have a bit of a backlog. So you can re-watch those and keep your exercises going through the Hub. So that's awesome. If you have an option to do stuff like that, please contact us. We'll help you out. You can email us. There's a thing for this, Matthias. HON@ashcrofthub.com is the email address that you can get a hold of us at. And also, if you're watching now and there's anything that you would like to talk about, you can phone me at 778-694-4662, and Matthias can throw my name up with the phone number. So, Jessica, how have you been? It's nice to have you back in the studio.
It's great to be back. I mean, I enjoyed working in my pajamas at home, but it's nice to be back in the studio, and I'm sure as much as you enjoyed your solitude, were you like Superman going into the ice cave to find himself by yourself here at the Hub?
Pretty much. I felt bad because, I shouldn't say I felt bad, but when everybody was starting to come back, I said to myself, oh no, I gotta clean.
Yes, I did warn you before I came back because I knew your housekeeping habits, so I didn't want to just surprise you and have you be upset that I saw how you actually live.
The real question is, how many shows did I do with no pants on? But one of the things that the Hub is looking at doing as a fundraiser is a anonymous art show.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So I actually stole the idea from Vanderhoof, and my mother is totally fine with that because she stole one of our ideas too. But it's an anonymous art show, so anyone can participate as an artist. The work doesn't get signed, and so we will be having a actual art show with a very limited amount of people in September, and then have a live or an online silent auction for a couple of weeks after the fact. Canvases can be purchased for $5, and that's your $5 registration fee. 4 canvases per artist can be utilized. You have to register by July 1st, and then we'll order the canvases and they'll be available for pickup after the 15th of July. You have all summer until September 1st to create your beautiful pieces of art. And then the art show is right now scheduled for September 12th, and then they'll go online for auction after that. And so it's a way for the Hub to make some money to fundraise, but it's also a way for artists to make money as well, because we're going to actually split the proceeds 50-50 for each piece that's sold.
You know what I'm going to do to make this a civic thing, because my job is a civic journalist? I'm going to make this civic by calling out Barbara Roden, Jonah Anstedt, let's say Lisa Defoe, and Annette Pittman. All of you, I'm calling you out to get your canvas, make a piece of art, and take part in this particular thing. So please share that with those people, and we will make sure that they know that that's a thing. And Matthias has his hand up. So Matthias, what's going on?
Work BC Ashcroft just commented and said, "Hi Gareth and everyone at the Hub. Happy Friday."
Hello, Work BC. Happy Friday to you. I'm thinking that must be Christy. So Christy, it's nice to hear from you. And please send us another update. We love sharing everything that you guys have to say. So please let us know what's going on with Work BC. And thank you, Matthias, for bringing that to our attention. Another thing that we talked about earlier was the Village of Ashcroft has made the leap to Facebook. They now have a Facebook account. And that being said, Ashcroft is in stage 1 water restrictions. So what that means is our water treatment plant and staff have been working hard to meet high water demands. We are currently using 10,000 cubic meters more water than this time in 2019, and 20,000 cubic meters more than in 2018. While there has been rain in the river and running high, all water we use has to be treated by our plant. Following conservation measures will lower pressure on the treatment plant, reduce maintenance costs, and reduce costs to you. So Ashcroft is currently on stage 1 water conservation measures.
We actually always are every year at this time. Like as soon as we start watering our garden, it's stage 1 water restrictions.
That being said, even addresses may water on even numbered days, and odd number addresses on odd numbered days between the hours of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind, Ashcroft, as we move forward into the summer months. Mm-hmm. Yes, Matthias, what is up?
Tova White wants to know, how do we register for the art show?
Ah, yes. You cut me off.
Great question, Tova.
So you can either pick up a physical registration at the Hub to fill out, or you can go to theashcrofthub.perfectmind.com and pop over to the product tab, and there is a registration option there.
And we will put a link to that in the comments or the description of this video after the fact.
Absolutely.
Normally we have Jessica as the woman in the chair, putting all these things out there whenever I come up with something for her to put up. But she is on camera today, and we don't have that person. We didn't want to put too much on Matthias on his first round of managing the Switcher app. So what do we got next here? The Equality Project. Sorry, are you done talking about the anonymous?
I am for
art
now,
show?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
The Equality Project says that after a few weeks, we are now seeing some people stay to socialize outside. We will serve lunch in this way until the midway of June, and she'll let us know the exact date soon. And their downstairs essential room is open now as well from 11 to 1. They do have COVID-19 rules to follow, but they will try to make a person visit as welcoming and comfortable as possible. Thank you to our supporters for your donations. We are open to you now to drop your donations off Monday to Wednesday, 11 to 1. And then I got another update from her that says, I have also received an email from our kitchen manager today stating that we are planning to open the inside for people to eat this coming Monday, June 9th. We have prepared tables so that people can be physically distanced, and the downstairs essential room will be open via the outside back door. Please help us keep the regulations from the government and health authority have put in place so we can stay open. And that is from Joan Henderson of the Equality Project. So thank you, Joan, for all of your updates. You've been sending them to me frequently, which is awesome. And if you're from Soups On or Elizabeth Fry or any other organization that is in Ashcroft or Cache Creek that is helping people out, let us know. We'll put your message out into the ether and see if we can't help you guys get your message to the people that need to hear it.
Do you feel like you're back in school, Matthias, putting your hand up when you've got a question?
A little bit. That's fine though. Nadine Davenport wants to remind everyone that Unity opens Tuesday at 11:30 a.m.
Oh, she's jumping the shark. Nadine, you're jumping the shark. You're on my list. But thank you for sharing. So just to reiterate what Matthias just said, Nadine at Unity is reopening the doors on June 11th. So next week, so that is awesome news. We do have a few other places that are looking to open up as well. So I'll jump ahead a little bit and get to that list. Sorry, Unity is looking at, did she say the 11th or the 9th?
9th, Tuesday.
Tuesday. The Ashcroft Bakery is looking to reopen fully on the 11th. There is, second time around was hoping to be reopened on the 12th, but they have been pushed back to the 19th. And they will only be open on Fridays, just for people's awareness. They'll only be open on Fridays, and they're reopening on the 19th. I'm not sure what the auxiliary thrift store is looking at doing.
They're still working on their procedures to be able to reopen. They don't have a date yet.
My understanding is that they're going to be open Wednesdays, and the second time around is going to take the Friday slot.
Oh, okay.
I think that was a thing that Kitty Murray was talking about at the Ashcroft Council meeting last time there was a meeting.
Good.
That's pretty cool. For students in grades 10 to 12 next year, the course selection survey is up. So please make sure to head to the link and select your course options for September 2020. And I actually have that survey here. And I was thinking I would take the survey quickly, but it is, there are quite a lot of options. I wanted to go back to high school for a moment. But there's lots of options for all of the people in grade 10 to 12. So that's amazing for all the COVID-19 stuff that's going on. Again, so many options. So remember to select your electives and all those things now so the school can prepare for next year with your kids. Mm-hmm. And we'll provide a link for that also in the comments and description of this particular video. Now let's talk about some tweets. Jackie Taggart retweeted Stephanie, I can't pronounce her last name, Cadieux, C-A-D-I-E-U-X. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. But Stephanie says that since my election in 2009, the BC legislature has made numerous accessibility improvements. The Mowat entrance, named for the first MLA who used a wheelchair, and the new access to the lawns are examples. And there's a few pictures of ramps going up to the Legislative Assembly in Victoria. I know that Jackie Taggart bunks with a MLA. I'm not sure if it's Stephanie, but bunks with an MLA in a wheelchair. So this is awesome. I believe it was National Accessibility Month or week or day or something. So that's great news for Stephanie, and thank you for sharing that, Jackie, on your Twitter feed. Now we're also going to get into this a little bit more, but Brad Viss has put out a statement about, if I can make it a little bit bigger here. Sorry, I'm gonna just, it's a little small. So statement on Black Lives Matter and systemic racism. So this is June 5th, 2020 for immediate release from MP Brad Viss. So he says that while instances of racism are long-standing and shameful over the past 2 weeks, we have seen an outpouring of grief and frustration across North America in response to injustices resulting from systemic racism. Systemic racism exists in Canada. Its negative effects are experienced by millions of Canadians. I am committed in my role as a federal legislator to identify and address ingrained structural discrimination, and to do so, I remain committed to hearing from those with any experiences. I have kept this statement intentionally short, and I am here to listen. So that is from our MP Brad Viss, of course, in response to the things going on with Black Lives Matter across not just the United States, not just Canada, but the world. There are so many marches and organizations and stuff going on right now in all major cities, really, including London, China, also Russia, all sorts of places. So that's awesome. Thank you, Brad Viss, for sharing that and showing your support.
Gareth, I think you do have to go back to school because China and Russia are not cities.
Countries. When you're talking so much. Talking about another country, Kamloops.
You are quick on your feet, aren't you? Go ahead, Kamloops.
Did you have your hand up?
No.
Kamloops yesterday had their own Black Lives March that I attended. It was pretty awesome, but there is quite a story to tell about this. So, did you know that the protest, and I'm talking to Jessica here, the protest was stated to happen and then was canceled?
I did actually hear that. I was in the office yesterday at this time it was supposed to start, and Lisa said something about it having been canceled. It was even on Radio NL that they had to cancel it because they had nobody to talk.
So my understanding of the situation was, because there is, and I'll read this. So this is from Castanet. Sorry. It's really quite an interesting thing here. So Kamloops organizers of a peaceful protest showing solidarity with Black Lives Matter movement have decided to cancel today's event scheduled for noon at Riverside Park. The announcement was made at 10:40 a.m. On June 4th, just under 2 hours before it was supposed to start, in the group's Instagram account. In the post, organizers state that their intentions with the event didn't align with the effects of our actions. Our intentions were to create a platform and conversation, reads the post. We want BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, to lead the protest. The original idea was to create a space for people to express their feelings of injustice and for us to be able to be there to protect the BIPOC in this space. So the people that had originally set up the march itself were white people, and they felt that having white people set it up and white people run it didn't fit with the message of what they were trying to achieve. So because of that, and because they didn't have anybody set up to speak, they canceled it. Now that being said, it still went on. So when I got there weren't very many people, and then a bunch of people showed up, pretty much all right at the same time, between 11:30, really 11:45, and at 12 o'clock. And there were people running around telling people that it wasn't canceled, and it's the meeting of people is by the bandstand. So then at noon, there was 6 or 7 people of color up on the stage, both Indigenous and Black. I didn't see many other. I didn't see any like Indo-Canadians or anything like that. But they all just started talking, and there were lots of chants. So why don't we actually, and the march itself was pretty significant. So why don't we actually have a little bit of a clip lined up. So let's play that, and let's mute the microphones while we do this as well.
What's up, dude? side of the issue, you got one on both sides here.
So, on that last point, why I'm here, why I'm continuing with this purpose, to find out I need some real answers, because I can't just like walk away. Oh, do you really want to go down that road, Leslie? Yes, I do. I can tell that. You really want to go down this road? Why? Probably because they were my tribe. And they know how hurtful that's going to be, that road that I've been put on. But it's like, you know what? I don't do it. What about my kids? What about my kids? What about my grandkids? What about your kids? What about your grandkids? What about your parents that went through what they did to get us here where we are today? Yeah!
Yeah, so that was just a small clip of what happened yesterday, and we are on early next week. We will have the whole event in its entirety put up, so you guys can see most of the speeches that were put or done. I did walk the whole march, so that'll be there. It was about a 25-minute walk for myself. I am too out of shape to be doing that, though. Oh my goodness, I was trying to keep up and then get ahead of people so I could. I finally gave up trying to get to like the front of the march to try and catch that on video, but I was sweating. My legs were sore. I think I'm going to put it on that I was wearing the wrong shoes.
That's it, yeah. That's got to be. Blame the shoes.
But to finish the story from Castanet here, this event was, so they say that this event will be canceled as we too would rather BIPOC directly organize these events. We took all feedback we could see from BIPOC to make our platform better and listen to all of the criticism we got from them, but we feel as though this was not enough. Thank you for all the support, but please direct it elsewhere. So they did try to cancel it, but it's awesome. About 500 people showed up, which was really, really great. It was awesome being part of the march. And I personally, the whole time was pretty much on my knees because I kept moving forward because we were doing the show. I was trying to get it live on the phone, but if you're too far away from the people talking, you can't hear them. So I kept trying to inch closer and closer and closer to the stage, but I felt like I was in the way. So I was like, I got as low down as I could, put the phone up as high as it would go. And I think by the end of the live stream, you can hear them. But we did record on another camera, so the audio is better on the other camera. So we'll have it up again next week in all its entirety. And if you were at the march and the show, not the show, but
Rally.
The rally, thank you, that's a better way to put it. Please let me know if you would like to do an interview. It'd be great to put a couple people's opinions and thoughts into this topic, into this video, and make it as good as it can be. So you can email us at hon@ashcrafthub.com. You can phone me right now, and we can get a hold of you guys through video chat and have an interview and talk about this. And I'm sure for the next while, this is going to be a large enough topic that it would be fine to do this over the next little bit. So please let us know. And moving on, yes.
Corey Rajala just wanted to show that he loves the country of Canada and Kamloops.
Oh, yeah, Corey. So Corey's a buddy of mine. We used to work together in the movies a couple of years ago before I got cancer. So Corey, it was good to see you yesterday. Thank you for watching the Hub on the Network today. And yeah, actually, so it'd be great to hear from you specifically because we know each other and talk to you about this. If you're willing to do that, get a hold of us. So moving on. still talking about Black Lives Matter. Jessica, did you know that Justin Trudeau took a knee today?
I did not.
Let me find this story. Okay.
During his live.
This is from
Show?
CTV News. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau knelt on the ground as part of a crowd gathered on Parliament Hill Friday afternoon in solidarity with anti-racism demonstrators protesting police killings of black people. The demonstration is one of multiple events in Canada following days of demonstrations against racism and police brutality in numerous American cities. Trudeau had declined to say earlier Friday whether he would attend, but arrived at Parliament Hill in mid-afternoon with security guards wearing a black cloth mask. Some in the crowd shouted at him to stand up to U.S. President Donald Trump. The Ottawa event was organized by No Peace Until Justice, formed by a young black woman. The goal was to bring together black activists and organizations and allies to stand in solidarity against police brutality and social racism. Trudeau clapped and nodded in response to many of the things said by speakers at the front of the crowd, including one who said, "There's no middle ground on the issue." Now that being said, when we do put up all of the Kamloops March and rally, I'm not going to censor any of the swearing. I'll put a disclaimer in the video saying that there is some swearing and racial slurs, but I feel it would be injustice. Disjustice? That's a
Disservice?
disservice. Thank you. Yes, I'm trying to mix those two things together. It would be a disservice to not have that. It's powerful speeches, so be prepared for that. We don't typically put swearing and stuff in our programming at the Hub Online Network, but when it's necessary, what can you do? And especially when it was live, I was sitting there.
I got a text message from Gareth halfway through going, "Can you please add a disclaimer in the comments to the video that there's not appropriate for all audiences?" So,
I mean, I had two phones with me, but I was so focused on the two cameras, I couldn't go on Facebook, and some people were asking where we were, if I could turn it up. So I did try to respond to them in like personal messenger, but I couldn't get into the video to add extra comments, so I had to rely on Jessica, who is there to help me out whenever I need it. What else do we got? Next week, there is a grad drive-by parade in Ashcroft on the 12th of June. Matthias, you know what time that is at?
I believe that the drive starts around 6.
6 o'clock in Cache Creek,
6 o'clock in Cache Creek.
7 o'clock in Ashcroft.
7 o'clock in Ashcroft.
Good job, Matthias.
You are going, right,
Thank you.
Matthias?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. We might even let you have the afternoon off to, like, you know,
Maybe.
do your hair and makeup and
You
stuff.
guys are so kind.
I know, right?
Favorite.
Now, I believe that is really all the stuff that I have today. Can you think of anything else that is going on in Cache Creek and Ashcroft, Jessica?
Not at the top of my head. No, I think we found everything. What's your plans for the weekend?
We're going to go check out Hathaway Lake with the in-laws for a possible property, I think, is
Cool.
what our thought process is. So that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking Sunday off, a much needed day of nothing. I think we're going to probably weed our garden though.
Yeah.
But beyond that, Sunday is going to be a nothing day for myself.
Nice.
And then back to it on Monday morning, bright and early. Don't forget that we have our council meetings coming up next week. We have an interview with our newest doctor that we're going to be posting next week. I have to work on this Black Lives Matter video. We're working on stuff for the school. So the Hub Online Network is very busy. Thank goodness I now have Matthias and Troy, who isn't with us right now. Troy has gone home early because he worked more this week than he was supposed to. So he's already gone home early once. But it's good to have more people in the office.
It
So,
is. Absolutely.
How about yourself?
I have to work tomorrow
Yep.
because Troy had an appointment. He couldn't work on Saturday like he normally will be because the hub is open Saturday from 12 till 8. So I will be here with Matthias, hanging out all afternoon tomorrow. And then, yeah, I'm going to chill on Sunday.
Fun. So that being said, the gym at the Hub is open from noon to 8 on Saturday, but is closed on Sunday.
Yep.
Normally it would be open on Sundays as well, but these are new COVID rules and we can't work everybody to the bone. So if you need to get your exercise and workout in, it's tomorrow or bust. You get an hour at a time unless there's nobody waiting, and then I guess you can stay in there for as long as you want.
Yep.
And make sure that if you're using equipment that you rigorously clean all of the stuff that you've touched, sat on, looked at as much as possible. And yeah, but we'll see all of you guys on Monday at 3 o'clock here on the Hub Online Network. Thank you for watching. There's no more comments, right, Matthias? Awesome. So have yourselves a good night.
Wait,
Oh,
Corey Rajala wanted to say, good to see you too, Gareth.
oh, thanks, Corey. We should just get in touch, man. Anyway, yeah, so stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys on Monday.